I call you my pride, babe. I ain't no player, I just got a lot of babe. But let me tell you, I like you a lot, babe. I wanna start at the top and the bottom, babe. Now you want the shoe with the red at the bottom, babe. You know I like when you right at the top, babe. She wants your name and D-Yo-Yo. I'm only doing cash, I don't need promo. I pull up to the high rise, I'm in the fofo. Inside Coco. If I got a feeling, I keep it inside my
channel. Sosa King in the building with another banger video. How you guys doing? I'm doing fabulous as always. Even with this COVID-19 out, I'm still here. It's like a week that I've been quarantined, and it's been interesting, you know. Like, I mean, it's not bad. Like, a lot of people are saying it's bad for them, but I have things to keep me entertained. I have my phone, I have Netflix, I have food, I got my siblings, so like that should be enough for you to be entertained. But I mean, quarantine, like the way you were set up in your house. Today's video, we're gonna be talking about growing up in an African household. So, this is a different video. I haven't done a video like this before, so this is something new that I'm doing, and I thought it'd be interesting for you guys to know, especially non-African kids, kids that are not even African, that don't grow up in an African household, that grew up in a regular household, whatever household you grew up in, would want to know some things, like cool things. So I know that I would want to know some other interesting things about like how other people grew up in their household and how it's different from everyone. You know, we're going to be talking about three major points. We're going to be talking about the food, the punishments, and school. That's basically all that it is to being in an African household. I mean, there's other things, but those are like the three major points that are really major in African households. The first one is food. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys, but if you heard anything about Africa, anything about different parts in Africa, you know that the food is bomb. If you go anywhere in Africa, the food is bound to be bomb. It's bound to be bomb. Like, it's literally the best food in the entire world. After Mexican food and after all those other food, it's always African food number one. African food is so good. And when you're in African household, you're bound to be cooking every day, especially, and you know, they're very traditional. The girls are going to be cooking. It's a lot. It is what it is at the end of the day, but girls are going to be cooking. We're cooking 24/7. If you have, it really just depends on your household. Like, you can have a mom that cooks 24/7, and you're gonna cook. You're also gonna be cooking 24/7, or you're gonna have a African mom that really doesn't cook, and all that good stuff. And it also really depends too. Like, for me, I have my sister. She was born in Nigeria, but the rest of my siblings were born here. So you know, it's really different. Like, if your family carries on the tradition of that, or you know, makes their own traditions. But for my household, it's definitely cooking every day. Like, even when there's food in the kitchen, we still have food in the fridge, food in the kitchen. We still have to cook. We still have to cook jollof rice, beans, rice, fall, regular stew, fish stew. We have to cook all these things, you know. It's like we're having a big feast or something, or our family's coming over, but we're just cooking because that's something that Africans love to do. They just love to cook. I feel it's a way to express themselves also, because cooking is just, you know what they say, cooking, or a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So it's just like, it's cooking and food. It's a really big priority when it comes to being African household. I mean, African households, they don't play when it comes to food. I'm telling you, like, your food has to be on point. You can't be too salty, too bland. You have to buy peppers almost every Sunday. You have to go to Old World Market, whatever market you go to get your peppers. You have to have your Maggi. You have to have your effo. You have to have your beans. You have to have your turkey, your smoked turkey, your chicken, your meat. You have to have everything. Honestly, like, if there's even meats in the fridge and it's running out, they will still go to the market and still run. So, like, growing up in an African household with food is a huge pointer. It's a huge fact, you know. Like, you can't just, no, you have to eat Nigerian food. And like I said, it really just depends, because I know I have a lot of African friends that don't really eat as much African food as I do. It's just like, it's just the way you grow up, the way like your parents are brought up, the way whatever they bring, whatever they want to bring, whatever they want to leave. Like, yeah, I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to teach you how to talk like this. I'm going to teach you how to cook this. But me, I started cooking at an early age. I started cooking when I was like 13. I made my first dish, which was, I think it was regular stew and rice. And it was bomb. Like, stew is my specialty. Like, if you want to come to my house, I make the bomb. Like, my soup is like out of this world. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's a secret ingredient or a way that I like make it. It's, I can't tell you all the deets, but you guys know what it's a really big it's a really big factor. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is punishments. Punishments, guys. You guys don't even understand. Like, the way Nigerians, or I'm sorry, the way Africans punish their kids is out of this world. The way black people in general punish their kids is out of this world. Guys, let me tell you something. When you're being punished, it's a different type of thing. Like, you can be punished, you can be being punished in like several ways. There's a belt, there's the hand, there's the positions, there's the phone. It's just a lot. With me, when I was growing up, I usually got punished more with the belt in hand. Like, obviously, you get beat with the belt if you do rubbish. Like, it's really bad. You get beat with the belt. You have to do positions where you stand or you kneel down and put your hands up. It was just bad. If you know what I'm talking about, comment down below. But it's bad. But at the end of the day, it's out of love, and it's out of the love and outside of the kindness of their heart at the end of the day. Because through the Bible, it says one scripture where, like, kids don't listen to you. Like, they just don't listen to you. It's some kids do, some kids really don't. But the majority of the kids don't listen to you. So you physically beating them will make them have sense in their head to, yo, don't do this again. This is what I did, and this is the punishment that I'm getting. So if I don't want to get this punishment again, then this is what I won't do that again type thing. Instead of you just taking their phone or grounding them, no, you have to beat them until they have sense in their head, until they have enough sense in their head to know that you cannot do that thing. For me, my worst punishment was like, I remember it was bad. Like, I got my clothes ripped one time. I got beat with a hanger. I know a couple of my friends got beat with the shoe, like a heel of a shoe. It's bad. Like, I'm telling you, if I ask some of my friends their worst punishment, you would really cry for them. But that's just their culture. That's just the way people do things. That's the way Africans do their stuff to let their kids listen. Like, especially if you're growing up African kids are bound to be stubborn. So it's just like, you have to get it through their head one way or the other. Talking to kids, yeah, some of that method it works. Trust me, that's why it's good to have two parents, one that talks to you and one that actually beats you, because you get the best of both worlds. You just don't get a beating every time. You don't get a pass every time. You get a mixture of both, and you just have one parent that happens to do both. Praise to you. But I know my parent, beating is the way, and that's how I learned, and that's why I stopped getting beat, because beating it's not a fun thing. Trust me, it really isn't. So punishment is definitely another big factor in living in an African household, because punishment, they don't play with that, like, seriously. And speaking of punishment, then that brings us to our next subject, which is, if you don't know, school. Africans, schooling is a huge thing. Getting their education, getting their degree is a huge thing, because in Africa, the schools are it's so different from Africa and in America. Like, their system is so much different than it is in America than it is in America. I mean, the system is much faster. Let's just say that it's much faster, to say it in easier terms. It's way faster. That's why the kids that transfer from Africa to America are like so smart, and they get put in advanced classes, or sometimes they get set back. But when they get set back, the teachers realize, like, this kid knows everything. They need to be put forward, if anything. So their system there is so much faster. Like, they have to learn things 10 times faster than we do. You see, in America, they give us chances to mess up. They give us chances to make mistakes, and they take things step by step. And in Nigeria or any other country in Africa, I'm pretty sure that their system is so much faster. Like, they give you one thing, you have to learn it. Like, you're forced to learn it. Not forced like, oh, but you're forced to learn it, because if you don't know it, then you're just gonna fail the class immediately. In America, yeah, they're going to give you points, they're going to give you tips, they're going to help you along the way. And if you fail the class, you can take summer school and you can still continue at the same pace. That is not how it is in Nigeria or in Africa. Like, they will literally, you will have to be staying up all night just to make sure that you pass that class. Just make sure that you get an A on that assignment. Because if you don't, they're going to fail you, bro. And it's going to be another problem when you get back home and you have to tell your parents that. So when my mom told me when she was growing up in Nigeria, like everything was fast paced there. You had to learn everything. You had to cram everything. And that's why they're so smart, because they've been put in this mentality like, I have to know these things or I'm not going to make it type thing. In America, they let you slide so much that they literally have summer school for you, bro. So you could fail and still go to summer school and still be on the same pace. That's not how it is in Africa. In Africa, you have to be on the pace as everybody else, or you're gonna get left behind, and that's it. There's nothing else. When a lot of people, like a lot of when a lot of African kids transfer, they're so astonished by how slow everything is, how easy everything is, and how well people teach it to them, because that's not what they're used to having. So being in an African household, school is really important. Like, they do not play. They're like, you have to do good in school. You have to get a degree. You have to graduate. You have to meet these certain requirements. Because for me, it wasn't easy growing up. And now that you have it all good in America, it doesn't mean anything. You still have to be on top of your game. So especially my mom, she does not play when it comes to school at all. I have to be on top of my game. If you want to do extra sports, if you want to hang out with your friends, if you want to go to the mall, you have to be on top of your schooling, period. Nothing else matters except for school. You have to be on top of your school. You can't be missing anything. You can't be having, they don't even like B's, bro. They don't even talk of C's, D's. They don't really like any of that. But even if you have a B, you bring her home a B. Oh, hey, mom, I got a B on my test. She's going to be like, B? Why did you get a B? B what? B what? B what? That's how they're going to be. You have to get I mean, my parents still a little lenient on by, but I know a lot of Nigerian parents or African parents, it was like, you have to get A, you have to get A, you can't get B. B is for failure, C is for failure. Like, it's a lot of pressure, but at the end of the day, it's definitely going to help us on the long run. Like, we're going to be thanking our parents, maybe when we get to the future, maybe not. It really just, it depends on how you're growing up. Like, it depends on who your parent is, how strict they are, all that good stuff. So growing up in an African household, it really is hard. But it's hard, but it doesn't really have to be hard. It depends if you're a stubborn child. If you're not a stubborn child, like me, growing up, I was a stubborn child. I'm still am till this day, but not as bad as I was. You know, as you grow up, you learn to feel your freedom more. And even if you're growing up, your parent still doesn't care about your freedom. They don't care about the laws. Oh, yeah, 21, you're an adult. No, if you're still living with them in their house, not paying rent, not doing anything, you're still a child to them. As long as you have a degree, you're out of college, you're out of university, and you're making your own money, you're making your own career, then you can't say nothing to them, because African parents rub off on their kids, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. For me, it works, and I know that I have to be on top of my game no matter what happens. And yeah, like, you can't be tripping up. Like, it's hard, but it can be really easy. And your parents can be strict, but you can't be strict. My parents, like, in the middle ish, you know. And I know a lot of I know a lot of my friends, my African friends, they're like, yeah, my parents are really strict. They never let me go anywhere, da da da. And some kids, they're like, oh no, they're really chill. Like, as long as I do what I have to do, like, they're really cool about it. And that's the thing, you have to find that middle ground. Like, if you want to do things in your house, if you want to go out and hang out with your friends, if you want to buy this, you want to buy that, you have to be on top of it. Like life is not sweet. I know some parents, yeah, they don't really care and they still buy their kids stuff, but African parents, like, come on, like, it's either one way or the other. Like, you can't just be failing school and expect them to take you out, buy you this and buy you that. No, you have to be on top of your thing, and I'm pretty sure that's how it is for a lot of parents, but mainly for African parents, it's just like, you can't play. You literally cannot play. Like, it's fun. Like, the music, everything is just, it's fun most of the times, but when it comes down to business, and you have to get serious and you have to do your work, you have to be able to switch basically. You have to be able to switch from being fun, I'm hanging out with my person, to being serious and getting things done, and knowing when it's time to play and when it's time to be serious. So yeah, so far, I mean, I would not have it any other way. I love being African pride. To my Nigerians, especially out there, you know what we go through. So yeah, just keep faith. Religion is also another big factor too, but we're not gonna get too in depth with that. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this helped-ish, or if you were curious, I hope this, satisfied your needs. And yeah, have a blessed day. Love you guys so much. Please stay safe out here, guys, with this COVID-19 out. We can not be having any more people catching this mess or anybody else dying from it. And if you know you have it, stay home. If you feel like you have it, stay home. Like, don't go outside and risk everybody else catching it. If you don't have nothing else to do, stay home, okay? Like, I know it sucks, but just stay home. It's for your own good. This will all be over very soon, and we're all in this together. Thank you guys so much. If you guys want anything else from me, if you want any other videos, just comment down below. Make sure you comment, and subscribe, and make sure you share this. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys.